Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Games. This is for 2 to 5 players. Age is 13 plus. It'll take about 30 minutes to play. And in Boomtown Bandits, you are going to be placing your desperados on different locations around a map, and then having shootouts by rolling dice as fast as you freaking can, and hopefully, boo 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 boo, knocking out your opponents by shooting them, at which point you will gain some cards that will give you money and some cool special abilities. Sound intriguing? Let's open up, check it out. Alrighty then, we're going to be taking a look at Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Games. First and foremost, we have our handy dandy rule booklet. I believe it's about 8 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, all that good stuff you like to see in a rule booklet. It's a very well done rule booklet. It'll have you up and running in no time at all. In fact, it's a very simple game, so I can probably teach you how to play it right now. So in Boomtown Bandits, you are trying to acquire the most money. You're going to be doing that by placing your bandits on different spots on the board right here. You're going to have different locations out here that you are going to be trying to have shootouts at. You're going to be rolling dice during your shootouts, and whoever is the last man standing at a shootout is going to be able to draw one of these cards, which will give you money, but they will also give you special abilities. You'll continue to go until one of these stacks of cards runs out, at which point the game will be over and you'll tally up the money. Clear as dirt? Well, I'll go over the components, and then I'll show you a little bit how the game is played. So first and foremost, let's start with the locations. There's going to be 6 locations in the game. I have a 3-player game set out, which means I have 4 out. So however many players you have, you're going to have 1 additional location. So if you have a 2-player game, you'll have 3 locations. A 5-player game will have 6 locations. And the game comes with 6 locations: the bank, the stagecoach, brothel, mine, train, saloon. Each one is also going to give you different kinds of cards, because you might notice these cards down here. So for instance, the bank is always going to be about money. You're never going to get any cool special abilities at the bank when you draw a card. The stagecoach is probably going to give you something that's going to help out your powerful bandits. The brothel might give you something that's going to screw with somebody, because as you can see, it's got the screw symbol. The saloon is going to do stuff sometimes that will give your cowards courage, and we'll get more into what cowards are in a minute. But that's what you need to know about the different locations. Now let's get to these special cards right here. The special cards, and we'll look at the train cards right here, are going to have numbers on the top left. This is how much money this is worth at the end of the game, no matter what. Now down here you're also going to have a special ability that you can use. I want to make sure this is clear, that this is not one of those games where if you use this card you lose your money. No, that's one thing I like about this game, is that you get to use the special ability and you still get your money. So this one, you're going to play before a shootout, and always say when you play it on the card. At your coward's location, choose a token to get arrested and removed for the round. That's a very powerful, useful card. Play before placement. You may place all your tokens last this round. That's another really good card. Let's see what we got going on here. Big score. As you are looting a location, pass this card to the right to claim 2 loot cards. And that can be a really big deal, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. But needless to say, each location is going to have its own unique flavor, its own unique cards that will do some very cool stuff. So, I mentioned that getting these cards is going to be really good for you. A, it's going to give you money, but B, there's also special bonuses that you can gain at the end of the game, or one of them during the middle of the game. Now, these are blue-backed cards. And how this works is, at the end of the game, whoever has the most mine cards, the most of these cards, is going to get 15 extra dollars in the form of this card right here. There should be one that is all about the mine. There's also one for the train, the saloon. Pretty much everywhere you go, if you have the majority of cards from a location at the end of the game, you are going to be the winner of the game. Or, excuse me, if you have the most of that. If there is a tie, then no one gets the $15 and it just gets discarded. There's also one card that you can potentially earn during the middle of the game, which will say whoever is the first person to acquire a card from each location is going to get that $15 bonus. So that can really help you out, because $15 in this game can be quite a lot. So, next you are going to have your color, and you're going to pick out one color between yellow, blue, red, green, and black. And I do want to give a shout out to the box insert, which is absolutely outstanding. It's a fantastic box insert, and as you can see, there are still 2 in here that are unused. But you're going to get a couple things with the color you pick. You are going to get 3 dice that look like this. I'll show you some of those in detail in a second. And then you're going to get 3 tokens. You're going to get 2 shooters and 1 coward. These are only one-sided because you're going to be placing them down secretively. Now, The coward, as you guessed, is a coward, and he is going to be more prone to run away. He's going to have this white die right here. He's only going to have one bullet, and he's also going to have this runaway symbol. If this runaway symbol comes up, then he's going to run away from a fight, which will really kind of screw you over. Your other two guys, however, have the gun symbol, which means they are ready to fight. Their die are going to have 2 bullets on them. The other 4 sides are going to be blank, and I'll show you how you're going to use those dies in a second. But that's all you need to know for right now, is you're going to pick a color, you're going to get 3 tokens and 3 dice of that corresponding color. Next, you're going to have your starting player stuff, and this is a nice little whiskey bottle, very cool. And it actually spins. Now, why does it spin? Because this is also how you're going to pick the first player. So the first player for this particular game would be... We'll just go with me. Yellow would be the first player in the game, which means they're going to get this little sheriff star right here. The sheriff star is going to get passed around the table along with the whiskey bottle to the first player. The first player is going to be able to shut down a location so no one can place their workers there. So we'll go ahead and we'll just shut down the mine for right now. Because the mine cards, they're a little bit boring. They're high risk, high reward, and I like the special ability cards better. So let's get some special ability cards playing. So what they're going to do now is the first player is now going to secretly place one of his tokens on either the brothel, the train, and saloon, which are the 3 locations out there. So he might just say, you know what, I'm going to go right here, and the red guy is going to have his face down, and he might say, all right, I want to get into a gunfight, so I'm going to go here. This guy's like, don't forget about me. So we got 3 people at the train, so we're going to have a real nice gunfight there. One at the brothel, one at the saloon. This guy might have a beef with the red guy, so he might go to the saloon. He is thinking, man, I can probably lock down that brothel. So he definitely goes there. He might go over to the saloon, and then this guy might be like, yeah, I'm not going to let you have the brothel without a fight. Well, you know, we'll just do it for the example. We'll do that. So how this works now is from left to right, you are going to reveal, you're going to take care of each of the locations. So first we'd have the brothel. It doesn't really matter what's played there because yellow's the only person there, which means they're going to earn one of these special cards. And we'll take a look at it. We'll see what it is. So play before placement. Target player must place all tokens face up this round. So that really can screw somebody over. So yes. So he's going to have that card. It goes face down in front of him. It's going to be worth 10 points at the end of the game. When he decides to use it, it'll go face up, but he will still get the $10 at the end of the game. So next we have the train. So we have yellow, red, and blue, and everybody came to fight. So what's going to happen is they're all going to grab their die, and they're going to grab as many as they would. So if blue had 2 here, they would have 2 dice. And they are going to say 3, 2, 1, go. Now normally you'd have somebody who's not involved in the fight do this, but since everybody's involved in the fight, you would just have someone do this. And they're going to roll as fast as they can. This is a fast, frantic dice rolling game. And whoever, if you get a symbol on it, as soon as you get a symbol on it, you say hit. So hit! So at this point, it would have been who said it first, blue or yellow. Most likely we'll just say blue hit it. So what blue now has to do is they get to eliminate one of these people from this spot. So they might say, all right, yellow, you already got your hit. I don't think you're going to get another hit. So they might eliminate red. So red would take back their token, and now it is a fight between blue and yellow. Let's do this again, all right? So hit, blue, rolling hot. They would knock out the yellow one right there, and then they would have earned a train card in this one. Let's just see what it is. As you are looting a location, pass this card to the right to claim 2 loot cards. So that's pretty useful. And that would go right over here in front of the blue guy, who is over there. Finally, we would do the saloon, which would have... Oh, it would have 2 regular gunmen and 2 cowards, which means the red guy would roll his coward die and his gunman die. And likewise, the blue would do the same thing. And then the yellow person would be the person to say 3, 2, 1... go, and also decide who said hit first, or various other different minor things that might come up. So let's just pretend that red got that, so they would get the saloon card, and then that would be the end of the round. Everyone would pick back up their guys and put them in front of them. The first player whiskey bottle would go to the next player, and then that player would also pick this up and decide where they want to block down. So they might want to say, yeah, we're going to block down the train, and then that person would start playing their tokens on the board. Very, very simple gameplay there. You're going to keep going until someone has someone has taken the last card in any one of the piles, at which point you will finish out the round, and at the end of that, you will tally up the points, give out any special bonus points that might have been earned by having the most of a certain kind of card, and whoever has the most money is going to be the winner of Boomtown Bandits, and that in a nutshell is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, the game is not good for everybody. This is a very light dice rolling game. You're going to be rolling dice fast, which some people also don't like. I put this at the same complexity as like a Ting of Tokyo or something. So if you're looking for a meatier, more strategic game, it might not be for you. Also, this is one of those games where you're going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Now, there are some action cards, definitely, that will shake things up and do some different things, but for the most part, you are just laying down things and then having shootouts and laying down things and having shootouts and laying down things and having shootouts. And if you don't like doing the same thing over and over again, it might not be for you. Also, two-player game. I was not a fan of this game, two-player games. I won't play it again, most likely two players. Three players is okay. We'll talk about 4 and 5 players in the pros. But yeah, if you're looking at this purely as a 2 or 3-player game, I would recommend trying before you buying, definitely. Any other cons that I have with this game? Oh, that's another one. I like the theme and I like the artwork, and personally for me it's just fine, but some families I don't think are going to like the fact that there's a brothel and saloon. I just wanted to mention that because I do feel like this is a game that could really be in the family game category with how simple it is, but at the same time, do you really want to be talking to like a 7 and 8-year-old about what a brothel is? I don't know. That's more up to you. I personally wouldn't mind too much. But anywho, that's what I got on the cons. Moving on to the pros, I'm going to put this real simple. Boomtown Bandits, I do believe is going to be one of my top 10 games of 2015. It is outstanding with 4 and 5 players, and if you were looking for a fun, shorter game night game, when you routinely have 4 or 5 players, check out this game. If you were looking for a great family game and you don't mind talking about a saloon or a brothel if it gets brought up, this is an outstanding game. If you're looking for a great gateway game, Boomtown Bandits fits that bill. This is a very versatile game in that aspect. I can play this with new gamers, I can play this with my game night group, I can play this with my family, and everyone is going to have fun, and that's part of the reason why I really, really was blown away by this game. So what else do I like about this game? I love the special ability cards. They give you so many cool abilities, and I like the fact that each location has different ones. The first time I played, I didn't realize that at first. I didn't read the rule booklet, or I'd read the rule booklet since then, obviously. But I didn't read the rule booklet, so I just thought, oh, they got special cards, whatever. And then I was like, oh, so this has this. And if I go to the bank, I might want to go to the bank routinely, because then if I can do this, I can string these together. Whereas if I'm going to the saloon, that's going to help me do this. And this one's really going to help me plan, or maybe screw stuff people over. And I liked that an awful lot. Another thing I liked about the special ability cards was that in a lot of games, when you get these really cool special ability cards, they make you make that stupid decision of, oh, do you want to use your special ability, or do you want your victory points? You can't do both. This game says, no, you can do both because I like you. Well, it doesn't say I like you. But I like that. I really do. There's too many dang games where I want to play the special ability, but at the same time I don't want to sacrifice points. So in this game, it is really in your best interest to spend these special ability cards, which gets people doing all sorts of cool special abilities, and especially when the game is winding to an end, you see somebody with maybe like 4 or 5 cards, you're like, oh man, what are you going to do? I don't know if I want to go to your location because you got all these special ability cards, you might screw me over. And I liked that an awful lot. Another thing I liked about it is it feels really well balanced. These special ability cards do. There's not one particular special ability card or two where I'm like, man, I really want that card over everything else, and I liked that an awful lot. I liked how the shootouts worked. It was really cool, fun, interactive. It gets people excited. It keeps everyone involved because you have that third person who's the judge, and a lot of times they have to make big decisions. Who said hit first? And they're like, I don't know. And it's like, who said it? No, I said it. No, he said it. And I like that an awful lot. Just overall, Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Games. This is a hit. I really think they got a good hit on their hands. I'm excited when this really gets out to everybody. I think you're going to hear a lot about this game. That is Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Game. Great for families. Great for game nights. Great for gateway gamers. Just a fantastic overall game from top to bottom. Be sure to check it out. That's Boomtown Bandits from Squirmy Beast Games. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. And in the comments below, let me know if you were a desperado. Where would you rob? Where would you rob? Where do you think you could get away with robbing? And don't tell me your work. Someplace other than your work, because obviously you know how everything works at your work, but where do you think you could get away from? There's this little Cuban restaurant. There's a little Cuban sandwich stand that's maybe like a block from my house that I'm pretty sure I could rob. I go in there maybe like once or twice a year. Delicious food. So they don't recognize me, plus I could get away on foot. And there's also a Western Union inside there, so they probably have some good money. Oh man, I should really stop talking about this before I incriminate myself. But anywho, as always, thanks for your time, you two. That was the review for Boomtown Bandits. For more reviews, previews, and autofocuses, be sure to click back at Bowers Game Corner.